What's up, guys? And welcome to the Mystic Shot Podcast. I'm your host, We the People, and we're just going to jump straight into the podcast. Enjoy.
Time for a true display of skill.
Hey, yo, what's up, guys? We the People here. Starting the second episode, number 2 of the Mystic Shot Podcast. So we got Swerve here, and we got Mr. Gomez.
Yep.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Good. Yeah, good to be back indeed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, how's everybody feeling?
Yeah, no, good.
Awesome. Well, everybody's good here. We're all good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good today. Feeling all right. Just eating my little bites here. You know, same old. But
Nom nom.
yeah, for the most part. But now let's get into some Runeterra stuff. So, everybody see the patch notes for 1.7?
What, the patch notes where they just added that little tiny bit where
The cosmetics.
we're gonna be throwing the patch out a week later, and also we're gonna have a week off. So I know that you wanted to see those new cards and new regions, but that'll be for the future. Good day, as they leave the door and close it behind them.
It's like nah, y'all good. Y'all can wait till August. Y'all can wait till end of August. No previews.
I mean, honestly, I thought they were memeing like throughout most of those patch notes.
I mean, to be fair, though, when they said the patch is going to be live, and or the patch is going to be going out a week later, and they tell you a few things. Like, there might be a few other things.
Yeah. You saw that too, right?
It's the last patch of August, and they said that the new region's coming in. So I wonder what those few other things would be.
I feel gaslighted.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel gaslighted. Like, yo, where's my previews at? But nah, we got some cosmetics. They look alright to me. I think it's just the main thing is the dragons. Cause I know people were talking about how they wanted dragons for the festivals and stuff like that. So, hey, we got that now. So,
new emote as well.
Yep, the new emote. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I do like that one. I'm not gonna buy this one. I'm waiting. Something good is coming, and I know it's coming.
So what? Do they have to have fedoras on? Like what's gonna make you buy here? Like.
Oh boy, I mean, what would make me buy it? So, the next time I purchase coins, I'm getting the Can't Touch This Fizz emote. That is 100% going to be happening. I've been playing a lot of Fizz lately, so I need it. I need to have that, and I'm waiting for a good board, and then I'll go out. I'll get some more RP, and we'll get some coins, and we'll see. But none of this is tickling my fancy.
Hashtag never target Fizz.
It's a bait. Don't do it.
Challenge him, but don't try to use a spell card on the man. It's not gonna work.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work.
But you can try.
But I mean the patch was pretty small. It's just really cosmetics. That's really it. I think they did some bug fixes too. Nothing too big though.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where this was kind of like the little patch, because obviously like what they were actually doing was like big patch where they were changing cards, and then there was like the little kind of tweak patch, and then big patch kind of thing. Yeah. It's just the recent couple of patches they had a change and then another change, because there was like they wanted to change so the one that was when they changed some of Noxus's stuff. Oh, shit, no, was it the one before? I'm trying to remember. There was one where basically they put it in earlier than what they would have done because so many people were complaining.
Yeah, they put like a mini patch in. I think it was a month ago exactly.
Oh, you're talking about that one with
supposed to be just a little one where they changed Solitary Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That was not supposed to be a balance patch, but they ended up putting those in. I didn't even really. Solitary Monk is what it is. Although Gomez loves the solitary monk.
I love that. Solitary monk, man. Just out of nowhere, you're not expecting, just recalls your whole board. I love it. To be fair, solitary monk, when used when you want it, is actually a really good card because it's if you want to get something back that you want to use again, it's actually a really good card, like a solid card. It's just when you don't expect it, you get an RNG. That's when the interesting things happen.
Yo, nah, honestly, I remember in beta, I was trying a few times to like give my opponent a solitary monk. I was trying really hard. And I think there was like a few combos that you could literally just give your opponent a solitary monk, bounce their whole hand back to their
well,
back the whole field
just
back to
one,
hand.
right? It's just one card, the Hextech Transmogrifier or whatever it is.
Yep.
I gotta do that, dude. I have to.
Yep.
All right, you guys talk. I'm making the list right now.
Yep.
It is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know what it was like for you guys, but literally, like since they were changed, like since Tuesday, I actually had so many problems actually just getting into the game. It was a little bit on Monday as well, actually, to be fair. But in terms of just every single time I was loading the game, it was just like, yeah, nah, we can't load. Like error, can't do that.
Yeah, I saw your tweets, and I poked at you a little bit, saying it was your own fault, but I did feel really bad for you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. No, literally. So I ended up sending a ticket to them, and they did say there's been a lot of. It's because of so much traffic. Like there's a server, the European server just couldn't handle it. There was having like a few people were having problems with it. So
really?
Yeah, no, a lot of people getting involved on there. Because the thing of it was, I wasn't sure whether or not it was on Right's end or whether or not it was my computer. Because literally, this happened a while ago, where literally every single time I was trying to get in, I just couldn't get in. It was like, what the hell's going on? And it turned out that there was a Windows update, Windows 10 update, that actually screwed up your ability to connect online. Like, I don't know.
That's brutal.
Yeah, no. It was like you could even like look it up or something on Google, but it was actually one of the Windows 10 updates actually just like basically stopped your ability to online game for a little while because it did something where it would just turn your connection off like randomly, just like as a thing, so you could use the internet properly and it would seem fine. But if you were trying to connect to a game or something like that, it'd just be like cut out.
Yeah,
no more of that for you.
I feel like you actually had it worse than me. I had no power. I knew I wasn't playing the game.
The amount of times I was trying to get myself in, and then just like you get in, and then you try to do matchmaking, and then it's just like, yeah, no, game can't find a match. Good day, you're done. Game closes itself down.
That's bad.
Can't connect to server.
You couldn't play, and I just couldn't even turn anything on. It was bad. That was a bad storm.
Well, damn. Well, I was playing a bunch of labs. I wasn't even ranking up.
I tried the lab. I
was playing a bunch of labs.
I played 2 games. I went 1-1. That was so fun. Thank you for making me play it.
I do. You know what?
Yeah, I saw his labs.
I did like Bestow. I did like the Bestow one. I think that was really good because
I played that one too.
It did actually involve you having to kind of work out, okay, right, so this is what I've got in hand. What do I want to buff? So throw out all the terrible stuff I kind of want to die, and then so buff something up. So you would either buff up something which had Overwhelm, or you'd buff up something which had Elusive, just because then you knew that was going to go through and the opponent could do nothing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this one is just crazy. You go in there and you've just got no idea what to expect. You've got no idea what your opponent's going to throw down, what you're going to throw down. I said, when you go in there and your starting hand is just full of spells, even though you try to get rid of some things to get some minions, you just literally start in hand, throw some stuff back, get more spells, and it's like, okay, right, I can't play anything, and then your opponent immediately plays Dreadway first turn. It's like, I can't defend it. Good day, I'm done.
It's like, well, I guess I'm dying.
Yep.
I did get a TF in the game that I won. I did get a TF.
I mean, to be fair, anything like that, like slot bot or TF, if you can get them down early, because you're drawing 5 every single turn. So, I mean, it's unstoppable if you can get one of those on there.
Nah, yeah, I told him about that. I was like, yo, TF is... If you can save TF for even one turn, it's a wrap. Like you're about to go ham next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything in your hand is freaking either is 1 to 3, and if you have 0 cost spells, it's just over. It's done.
What I learned in the lab, like if you really want to win, you have to not get too excited. You need to save your spell mana. You need to have at least 1 or 2 spell mana every turn, as often as you can, because there's so many times where I would be like, I got all these awesome plays, but he has 2 spell mana, and it's such a huge advantage in that game mode. Spell mana.
I'll tell you what one done me. Yeah, there was me thinking, I've totally got this. When I played Captain, whatever his name is.
Oh, Captain Farron?
Captain Farron. Played Captain Farron. And was like, haha, all of those decimates in hand. But literally all the decimates he creates are actually also fleeting.
Oh,
so
really?
I was just like, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. How shit is that? In terms of, I played this card thinking, oh, I'm about to decimate you so hard you won't even understand. And it's like, okay, well, I can only play that one this turn, and then they're gone. Great.
Yeah, like I could see why you would think that.
Because he was creating them, I thought that it would be.
It must be how it's coded, right? In that game mode. So it's like any card that's coming from your deck is going to be fleeting. So that's just not fair.
I mean, the funny thing is, obviously, people who have been recalling minions, then they've been going up to their full price. So, like, literally, just like if you recall a minion back to hand, it goes back up to full price. So people thinking, oh, he's about to die. Well, if I recall him, and then I can play him again quickly. But yeah, none of that.
Wait, so if you recall something and goes back to full price?
Yeah. If you recall something back into your hand, it goes back up to like what would be like a So early game where it's like you're already on like 3 or 4 mana, and then somebody just in like you put something out and you recall it, then it's back up to 10 mana or 9 mana or whatever it is. When it's just like well. Like, so you can't Riptide Rex and then be like, oh, I'm gonna do this again. Recall. Oh no. But Rex.
Send that freaking. I never got Will though. I
got a Will. That was fun times.
How much was it? 2?
I think it was 1.
God,
it was 1.
Bad play.
Right. Please never make that come to balance patch, please. Will at 1, I will cry.
Now, so I do have a question for you guys. This is going to be a crazy question, which is probably not even because we're like it wasn't scripted, but it came to my head. Okay, I'm sorry. I do apologize.
Get the editing ready.
No, legitimately, for this new, because obviously now that they've added that you can get ready for the singleton 3 regions. What 3 regions are you guys thinking? Yeah, no, I'm putting those 3 together. They deserve to be together. I didn't realize. I didn't actually realize that the gauntlet was going to have it so that it was still only singleton. I thought it was just going to be like tri-region, but then you could put multiple copies. But it's still only singleton, so you can only put 1 copy of each in hand, which is a shame. But
yeah, I haven't.
I mean,
that.
Like P&Z is probably going to be number 1 for.
I mean, the draw.
Pursuit of Perfection. Well, Pursuit of
Draw,
Perfection.
yeah.
The drawing that you get from P&Z plus Pursuit of Perfection. I mean, other than that, like no other region has any type of specific advantage when it comes to having less copies of cards in your hand, or more unique cards. So probably Freljord, I think, has a lot of those like really efficient like one-ofs that you could bring in singleton. So you could bring like the Brittle Steels and the Flash Freezes and Elixir of Irons to surprise people. I think that would be good. Maybe, I mean, any third would be strong from there. Ionia, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ionia. Freaking got Yone. Freaking got Will. Freaking got.
You got Solitary Monk.
Yo, Gomez's favorite card.
I mean, to be fair, that would work really well in that deck. You can recall some stuff that you want to replay again. So, but I went with P&Z, Bilgewater, and Noxus just because. Unt damage.
Tons of damage.
Yeah, drawing damage. Good times.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I'm actually really interested to see how it's going to go down and see what people are going to create, being able to go 3 regions. I'm quite interested. So I would have preferred if it didn't have the singleton lock where you only could put one of each copy, so you could just see what it'd be like actually putting a few different regions, actually like trying to make an actual deck which could work with multiple copies, but you get what you get.
Yeah.
No lie, I would put Almond Hawk in all my decks. I don't care what deck I'm playing. I'm playing Almond Hawk in that deck.
Well, you could also play counterfeit copies if you're in PNZ too.
Boy.
Yeah, no, true.
I'm about to summon a 1/10/10 on turn 2. Boy, they about to leave. About to be like, what is this? Man, nah, that's good times though. But
All right. The list is made, by the way.
Oh, you dead made you dead made it.
Excellent.
And you know, you guys have learned so far that I like to name my decks funny things, and I named it "She's Dead to Me." You take her. I don't want her.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well played.
What we got on the list here?
Well, I mean, we're going to be doing like favorite cards and least favorite cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we can.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, we can get into it. We can get into that.
So-
So what's everybody's favorite card for this patch?
I will concede over to Gomez. I feel like he's ready and prepared.
Well, I was going to say that not even like for this patch. I mean, of this week is more
Yes.
what I was going with.
Yeah. We can do it.
Favorite of this week is definitely going to be. Some people are going to be pissed off with this, but I'm going to say Neverglade Collector, just because Neverglade Collector, man attack and man heal.
Get him
so
out of here.
I'm happy with both of those. Don't get it wrong. That card pisses a lot of people off, but Neverglade Collector, so many different things you can do with him, and just the ephemeral ability that's in Shadow Isles anyway. I don't know. I have so much fun with that.
It's the 4 health. That's what really brings that card and gives it its value is that health stat. And I really, really like playing that card too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody's using up their vengeance to kill that rather than kill one of your champions, then you're like, yeah, well, that's that. That's the one less thing to worry about.
Right when Bilgewater was released, the first deck that I started climbing with was Shadow Isles Bilgewater with Neverglade Collector, Monkey Idol, and that was when Monkey Idol had 4 health. It was really bad then. Monkey Idol and Playful Prankster. Yeah. So it was just, I just watch you die. I just watch you die. I'm blocking and I watch you die. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my god. Nah, what feels bad with Neverglade Collector is when you have the person at 1 health and then they play Neverglade and then they start killing their own cards and you're like, oh my goodness.
And then
so you thought you had me.
The most fun is when you're playing almost a mirror and you have each player has a Neverglade and a bunch of chump blockers going out, and like you press the attack button and you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen. The meme with all the numbers are just
yep.
I was like this,
It's just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but he's probably only gonna take 1 damage this turn.
and all of our units are gonna die. Both board wipes and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I mean, just for the extra +1 on top of Atrocity as well is amazing. Just that your Atrocity, but also gets that +1 from the Neverglade, so it's just like, yes, even better.
All right, now least favorite card.
Least favorite, Relentless Pursuit. Without a shadow of a doubt. This week has been Relentless Pursuit because you just have. You're against somebody who's playing Demacia. They've already bannermen themselves up, so they've got crazy balled in terms of health and damage, and then they smash you down and then like not even just in one turn. So they've got the scout means as well. So they've put scout means forward first, either done damage or they've whittled down your minions a little bit, and then they throw forward the normal attack, and then you put your minions out. They all die, but you think I've defended myself. And then Relentless Pursuit comes out. It's like, oh no!
Right, you've defended yourself, but you already feel bad about those blocks. Like,
yeah, definitely. You don't feel happy about it. And
it's definitely salt in the wounds. I could.
They
see
do that, but it's the Relentless Pursuit attack, and you just know, I've just taken so much damage. But you might just be hanging in there. You might just be fine. But it's the double Relentless Pursuit, then playing Relentless Pursuit, and then Relentless Pursuit again. It's like, well. I didn't want to play today anyway.
but they nerfed it.
Well, I made it a slow spell, but that doesn't help me. It allows me to, if I have some mana, put something on the board, but only like one or two, one thing, and then I'm getting more things. Like, I can't defend it all.
Yeah, I know. It changes nothing when you're tapped out, and you can't really do anything with it. It's pretty bad.
To be honest, the nerf made it the exact same card. Only you literally can't put it on the stack now. Which, to be honest, it's kind of better. Because now you could just surprise them with it. I mean, it's not as like surprise, because you kind of... I mean, everybody knows how to hand read. So you can kind of see them have it. But it's like, do they have it? Do they not?
But... No, it got nerfed, and it's actually made it weaker than what it was going to be. Because if you think about it I mean, let's put it this way: if you know that you're against that kind of deck, you're not going to be a fool. But if you are being a fool, and it's your turn, and you put your attack out, so you've you built up a board. Like, yeah, he can't stop all this. You put your board out, and then they defend, but they do really great blocks. They know that they're going to be getting the best out of this. Like, they're going to kill some of your minions and still keep a board. Mm-hmm. The fact that while they're doing that defense, they could have played Relentless Pursuit, which means that because you've just done your attack turn, it's then their turn, and then they instantly put forward so it doesn't give you a chance to put a card out to defend, or it doesn't give you a chance because it's literally they've put it from your attack directly into their attack, and so if they've whittled down your minions through their defense, then you put yourself in a position where you're done. So it has actually nerfed the spell so that it's more fairer in that it at least allows you to come up with a response like, here, I'll put this little tiny minion who's not going to help me get rid of something, but it will give me one defense. So
right,
gives you that.
It makes it so that you can't put a block out unless you're playing jury rig.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. The unexpected jerry rig.
Jerry rig defends all, fam.
Unless, of course, they make them all fearsome, apart from the 1/6/6 you can defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Citria with Relentless is GG.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Giving everything +2/+2 on board, yeah, good luck. And fearsome.
That's +1/+1.
No, but when you attack with Citria,
yeah, you mean twice, attacking a Relentless Pursuit to do it twice. Yeah, no, it's true.
That's too much.
But to be fair, there's a few decks that actually traded her out in the 6th place slot for the Elmheart for the Scout and Challenge.
Yep,
that's something we did actually do that. That became a thing.
I mean, you think that card is better? I think Citria is still.
No, I'm just saying that it did actually change that card out because it gives everyone +1/+1 for the turn. Plus, they get to assign where one of your minions is going, and it's got Scout, so they're going to be attacking with that twice. So if they can lure something which would allow you to actually have a good defense away from attack and get rid of your little minions with their first Scout attack, it was a very powerful move.
Yes, when you break it down in terms of value per mana played, I think that Elmheart is actually a much stronger card when you analyze it in that way. Obviously there's going to be a lot of situations where Citria is a stronger play. Like you're going to put down an Elmheart sometimes, be like, oh, I wish this was a Citria, but there could conversely be a lot of times where you're like, oh, I wish this Citria was an Elmheart, and it's kind of just what your list is. If you're playing the MF Quinn, then I think Elmheart 100% is a way better card in that list. But Bannerman, I think Cytherea probably gets value more often.
Yeah, because then you have tankier units, and you also have what's that 1 mana card? That 1 mana give everything tough.
Rangers Resolve.
Yeah, Rangers Resolve. Yeah. So you just get
when they play that, the unexpected that, where just like when you think you've defended well, because you're like, well, they're gonna die, that's gonna die, that's gonna die, and then it's just like, no, it's not gonna die anymore. Still survives with one HP. It's just like gives you the right.
Yep. Nah, Rangers is definitely. I don't think the card needs to be looked at. It's just, when I first saw that card, I thought it was gonna break the game, but it didn't do so as crazy as I thought it was gonna do.
I mean, it's only for the turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only for the turn.
Yeah.
But when you put cards like Relentless Pursuit in it, it becomes ridiculous. Because then they attack twice. You can't really, like, you feel bad blocking it because you're like, the card's not gonna die. So.
Yeah.
And then they can use it on an offense or defense. So.
I guess it comes down to what, like, it's the same with anything in terms of these card games. When something starts to become more prevalent and powerful, then decks rise that specifically kind of counter that, and then that's how a meta evolves in the manner of speaking. So even if that did become powerful, there are still ways of getting around it. Like, I mean, Purify or even just Frostbites, which obviously Ashe and Sejuani at this moment in time. That's why it's a very prevalent deck, because you stop that damage from coming through.
Yeah. I feel like we need to probably later on in this episode discuss that Ashe Sejuani deck. And,
what you thinking? You think that deck needs to be nerfed? I think
we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
I mean, are we going to get through everyone else's favorite card and least favorite card of the week? Because it feels like it's just been me talking bollocks.
Yo, sir, what's up? What you thinking about?
All right, my favorite card, and I feel like everybody's gonna hate this because I'm going with the champion, and I feel like you expect me to dig really deep, but I'm going Fizz. Fizz is my favorite card this week. I love Fizz so much.
I'm not gonna hate on
I like
that.
this.
I love that when you put him down, the opponent is already going. Like he's already mad. He's mad already. even if you play him and you don't even attack with him that turn, he's already.
You're a troll.
See, Fizz is amazing in so many different ways. It's just that I made a Fizz Ionia deck where literally my only one cost is Fizz, and so when you play wherever his face is, the 4 cost, was it Kinku? Just basically.
So it brings it out the deck.
Yeah, so you basically just end up with like 2 Fizzes instantly. And if you've already played one earlier on, because obviously you still got like the 1, 2, 3, which is like a mana beforehand, so you could have played a Fizz. So you have 3 Fizzes on the board. Don't get me wrong, it's amazingly funny, and the amount of damage that you can do is amazing. It's just that one time when you do that move and you're against Shadow Isles, and then they're just like Withering Whale, and you're like, well played, sir. Well played.
Never mind. They give you that Yasuo emote.
Yeah, exactly. Just that not today.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, literally, that's the only time when, because there are still things that can. I think that sometimes people forget that there are still things to deal with Fizz in terms of like that are prevalent. Because I mean, Shadow Isles obviously has been running Withering Well for ages. What's his face actually? Twisted Fate himself, his red card can kill, which it can still kill Fizz.
Mm-hmm.
And a Ruination, if you're again Shadow Isles, still takes him down because it's.
A lot of people actually don't know this. So if you're against a Fizz and you play a Twisted Fate, you can yellow card it and he cannot stop it. It still targets it because it's not a targeting Fizz spell. It's a target the strongest enemy, no matter what. And there's a lot of people that actually don't understand that. So a lot of people are putting out red card against Fizz with Elixir of Iron and stuff like that to keep them alive, and they don't actually realize that you could still hit them with that yellow card.
To be fair, yellow card's still not going to kill him. Like if he's got Elixir of Iron.
Right? No, yeah.
It's
You can't stop the yellow card. It's going to go through.
yeah. That's the thing. I don't think that people, as you said, I don't think that people realize. Just like because the second they see Fizz, it's like okay, right, that's like near enough all my spells done in terms of targeting. But there are spells which do still hit him if you're using the right ones. So
yeah, for sure.
But definitely.
I guess I got to move on to my least favorite card this week.
Yeah,
can't do it.
So what's your least favorite card, Swerve?
Hired Gun. That card. It's so annoying in the late game when you've played your move and you've gotten to your climax and they on their turn you're like, I dropped my Dreadway or whatever, or Leviathan. Really, I've been playing a lot of Swain this past week. On the games that I've been able to play when they just drop that card and you're like, come on, man. It's 2 mana. You should have played that ages ago, and I would have killed it. What are you doing to me? Or now it's just I feel like back like 2 patches ago that card was getting played a lot in the tempo Sejuani deck, the Yoink Sejuani, and I've always felt that it should be just for this turn for the vulnerable, because vulnerable is really powerful. That's a really strong keyword.
I know, but it does require, like, that card does require skill to play in terms of the fact that you need to know, okay, like, when am I playing this? Because, like, if you're playing it early, then you are actually playing that card wrong, because it should be, okay, what do I really want to make sure that I'm trying to make vulnerable so I can at least, like, deal with it? So it does require skill to play that card, and I do actually, I actually like it. I think that Hard Gun is actually a good card.
I'm not saying that the card is unfair. In any ways, and
it's a bit annoying this week. I get it.
There's healthy choices. I hate it. I hate that. I just hate what it does to me. I like playing it though. It's fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I just think that Hired Gun, like when you're using it, you're storing it and waiting because you see what your opponent's playing, so you kind of like know what's roughly in the deck. Just be like, all right, that's what I want to target. I'm keeping that in hand until that gets played. Type thing. It's just, it's just gonna be devastating.
We the people, the man whose chin we rarely see.
I know, cause I'm always looking down at my mic instead of actually like looking at the camera. But
it's fine.
Let me think. So. My favorite card, to be honest, I've been enjoying Draven. I've been playing a crap
solid card.
Draven, honestly.
Fun voice lines too. It's the best.
With his level up, A1.
I mean, he's a solid card. He's got a lot. He's like a very versatile champion in terms of he actually does work with quite a few different people really well. Like.
Yep.
I mean, he works with Lee Sing very well in terms of the fact that you could like get Lee Sing's like attack up more for when he's doing his main man move, but also it's doing a spell every single turn, which is helping yet again level up Lee Sing. Works with Ezreal in terms of just all the amount of spells that you can then get off of Ezreal with his Mystic Shot when you get him leveled up. It works with Vi really well because just leveling up Vi works really well. So it's a really good champion. Not gonna lie.
I actually just put together a Vi Draven deck.
I was TheoryCrafting this week myself, and it ties in with my favorite card, a Draven Fizz deck. I'm working on it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll be TheoryCrafting that.
I've just been enjoying even his signature spell as well. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, Whirling Death is a lot of fun.
A couple of them even mentioned Jinx. He works really well with Jinx as well. I mean, that used to be a really early aggro, burn aggro deck was like massively in beta and whatnot was a thing because it just works really well with her because it's all about she's all about getting rid of cards and his spell discards cards. So I mean, it works really well.
They both synergize together like basically perfectly. That's exactly what Jinx wants.
And right when this past patch came out and they buffed those the Zonite Urchin and some treasure and made them different. People were playing the discard aggro deck like crazy, and I haven't been seeing it this past week. I mean, I haven't been playing much this past week, but I'm actually kind of surprised I'm not seeing it more.
The thing with it is, like any kind of aggro deck, it is really powerful early game, but the second they run out of steam, then like unless there's a really good draw mechanic in there, which to be fair, I guess like that's the reason why Bookie got Bookie, that's the words. The arena Bookie got
that 2-mana Noxus card, right?
Yeah, because like he now gives you draw as well as discarding. But yeah, the second that they run out of steam, there's nothing. That card, that deck is done. Like, so if you don't win early game, then you're done. And because Shadow Isles and that is so prevalent right now, and the amount of heals that they've got, and the amount of board like wipe that they can potentially throw out, it's not as good as what it was. If you know what I mean. Like basically, just literally, you can build up a board, but then they're healing themselves or literally destroying most of your board, especially when somebody throws out a Ruination or something like that. When you're doing that, then you're done. Like, there's no way you can be, because you can't rebuild that board up as quick.
That was a massive buff that went into that card from where it was. Arena Bookie got.
Oh yeah, massively.
To go 3 mana 2/1 to 2 mana 2/2 and still keep that same discard and draw that's nuts. That's nuts to me.
And that card also works really well with Draven, because then you get basically
get rid of his axes,
free cards. You basically get free cards.
Yep.
Yeah, but my least favorite card, and I think Swerve said this last episode actually, that he didn't really like this card. Atrocity.
Yeah.
You're wrong. You're both wrong.
Yo,
you're both wrong.
Yo, I've been seeing a lot of Endure. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Yo, this card literally makes you want to punch a hole through your screen. You're like, you put in so much work. You're like, all right, I put in so much work. He's like, Endure. You're like, okay, he's not attacking. And then next turn he's like, oh, Atrocity? You're like, but you didn't even work for this.
You didn't even think about it. You just played.
I mean, it depends on what you're playing against, because you don't want to be doing that kind of move if you depend on what you're playing against. If you're playing against Ashe's one, you don't want to be doing that move because it's potentially going to get frostbitten, so that it's just going to die and do no damage. If you're against like Ezreal and Twisted Fate, you don't want to be doing it if they've got enough mana to be able to throw enough target spells in to kill it. So it is one of those things where you need to be careful when using it. The one where it got used the most, I thought, was in Deep Decks, just like throwing Nautilus, just like 13 damage directly in.
Yeah. It's like, he ain't doing nothing useful. Let's just throw him at the Nexus.
Yeah. And Deep has actually come up as a resurgence. There's the discard Deep deck now that's been really strong, from what I've been seeing. Nautilus with why can't I remember what he's getting played with? But TF Nautilus with P and Z, just cycling through your deck in order to get to Deep on it. Probably actually faster than the Shadow Isles version, and it's really consistent, and it's got a much stronger early and mid game now.
The thing that I have played against, which I thought the audacity, was somebody was actually playing a Twisted Fate deck with Shipwreck Hoarder, and they were also had P and Z, and they were making copies of Shipwreck Hoarder.
Oh god!
And like they were using Mist's Call or whatever is the one that when it dies, then it just puts another. But that then also gets rid of 2 cards and puts 2 treasures in the. So they just end up just like all these treasures just in their deck, and it's just
wait. How is he playing Mist's Call? That's 3 colors.
Sorry, that's a good point. What am I talking about?
You're confusing me.
How did he get that? That's a good point. Like, unless there must be some way that something that he used that allowed him to get a card from a different a spell. I'm just trying to think what he would have used from that. Because literally, I swear that he used Mist Call as like Wait a minute.
Did he steal it
Yeah,
from
let's
you?
just make-
Oh,
Did he nab it from you, maybe?
Yeah, did he steal it from you?
I don't have many decks that run Miss Cool, so I don't really think that I don't know what I was playing at the time. I'll have to look into it because, as you said, yeah, that's 3 different things. So I don't actually know where he got that. I'll think about that and come back to you because I'm just trying to think myself now.
Very good.
But yeah, no. But the fact of using that kind of thing though with that is devastating. The draw mechanics with making copies, just making loads of copies of Shipwreck Holder, and then it doesn't matter because when it starts to get to a point where they've got so many treasures in there, they don't mind playing it because the most likely when they're tossing a card, they're going to be getting themselves a treasure. It's just devastating.
Maybe he got the missed call from a treasure. That could have happened.
Potentially. I can't remember that. That's very true in terms of he could have got that. But
Them treasures.
I played that. I was like, the audacity! How dare you?
Why would this to me?
Yeah, them treasures are nutty. Those treasures, especially the one. What is it called? I think it's called Treasure Trove. The one that gives you
Treasure Trove. Yeah.
Everything is 0 mana and you get like 5 cards. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You just when
All
you
of
see
them are
somebody
powerful.
play that, but that one specifically, it's just like, well, let's open the RNG bucket. Let's see what we get. No, like that one is nutty.
Yeah.
Like you might get a combo that just like, oh, let me just swing this all back into my favor or something. Like, yeah, that's pretty nutty.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now we already talked about we already kind of touched into the labs, kind of. I mean, we can kind of go more into depth if you guys want to. We can go more into depth into labs.
We didn't get Gomez's input on this lab too much.
I thought I did when I said, like, turn 1, spells in hand, and man throws out Dreadway, and then there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to defend.
Yeah.
It's done. Good day, sir. I said good day. But yeah, no, I mean, I actually do think this lab is a good lab to just chill out and relax. Like, if you've had like some really tough matches and you're just like, I just want to chill out for a little bit, just throw it out because there's no way of predicting what your opponent has, and that's so all you're doing is just playing just for fun more than anything else. You're not actually really thinking about. Maybe it's just me who feels that way, but you're not thinking about it. It's like, yeah, throw that out. It's fine.
Wait, do you start with full spell mana and full mana?
3
You start
and 3.
with 3 and 3. Yeah.
Yep, 3 and 3.
Oh, okay. So you gotta use it sparingly.
Yeah, no. Turn 1 is crazy. Turn 1 is crazy.
Yeah, it's depending on what you get, obviously. Yeah.
Nah, I think the only I mean I thought it was bad when I was watching your stream yesterday, and the person got Zed. I was like, wait, is this bad? And then you frostbited. I was like, okay, so it's not gonna do anything. All right.
Yeah.
No. You're thinking a couple of labs back. The first lab that came out was devastating when somebody played Zed, because literally the first one was you just what was it? Which ARAM, where you literally just chose the champions at the beginning and they built a deck around it, but you had those champions in deck. And so if you had Zed, immediately play Zed. If they've got no defense, attack forward, just instantly just like 6 damage hitting that goal. I mean, that was
and the level up.
Exactly, and the level up. That was when Zed was powerful in lab. Was the first lab.
I didn't even. I thought Zed was gonna put in work, and he was like, "Nah, he's just gonna get frozen."
To be fair, Zed was actually okay in the bestow as well, because if you had Zed in hand, you'd just be like letting things die, and then like his shadow copy was also going to be like unbelievably buffed. But in that deck, you were most likely trying to get up the other champion. What's my name? What's name? Begins with H.
Oh, Hecarim.
The ephemeral man.
Hecarim.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, literally, like you were trying to get he had overwhelm, so you'd want to get him up because you just knew that damage was going to be hitting in if they had nothing to defend. So.
Yeah.
All right. So we pretty much covered everything, all the topics.
Whoa! Yasuo emote. Yasuo
Yes.
emote.
Well, Yasuo emote is dead. I mean, I still think that is one of my favorite emotes, just because it's just the unexpected, just the whenever they think that they've won the game and you've got the counter, and then just put the emote of I think it's one of the best emotes.
It's the best emote against a roper. It's the best. when he ropes you down and he makes his play, and you're like, no. How dare you waste my time?
I mean, it's one of those things where I think that at some point maybe we should talk about emotes in terms of just like the tier of emotes. Because let's face it, I think that like Brom is just used by degenerates everywhere. Just the instant, just spam Brom. Is that's where, you know, like, I want a classy man. I want some classy emotes being thrown at me. Don't just like a Brom spam me.
Oh, so you want the Teemo tongue, huh?
No,
the cheeky
emote. I want potentially, yeah. That at least it's something. Also, I like something along those lines, or as it was when they play the sad poro, but it's also sad poro can be played as a trick.
Facts.
Because they can play something, like, or you play something, and then they go sad poro, and then you think, I've got them, and like, I lied.
We can talk about the emote metagame at some point. It may be next episode, but I did just want to touch on what your guys' thoughts are on the Ashe Sejuani deck, because it's everywhere right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like if we theory crafted a little bit of potential nerfs, I have some thoughts of what could maybe rein that deck in a little bit.
I mean, I think it's a balanced deck. Like, honestly, I'm not, like, don't get me wrong. Yo, Reckoning is a fucking card.
Yep. Reckoning is
like, that is a card. Like, honestly, I swear to everything, I did not remember about that card until that deck started being OP. Like, honestly, I was like, wait, I keep reading this card, like, what does this card do? Oh, kill my board and let them smack me for 20?
For me, one of my worst things that I come across is when I just know that I'm done, when I don't have anything that's like got a lot of health, and the Ashe arrow goes out and it's leveled up Ashe, and it's like, I have all these minions, but I can't defend with any of them because of the leveled up Ashe, and therefore, which if they haven't got any attack, they can't defend. So admittedly, there is sometimes you've got a buff in hand that can at least allow one or two to defend, but most of the time it's like, yeah, well, I have all these things, and they're just going to sit there and watch as I die.
But to bring it back to Reckoning, that's the hard part, because if your list that you're bringing up against the Ashe Sejuani with Reckoning is, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, because you need to play chump blockers in order to live long enough to try to get, you know, to the point where your win condition is actually playable. But it's not, because if they have the Reckoning in hand and you have to play around it, you can't play the chump blockers because there's no point. Not no point. You do need to get the Reckoning out of their hand at some point to get to your win condition, but that's the hard part. It's playing around Reckoning when your list is, you know, smaller units.
Yeah,
that's the hard part. And I don't think Reckoning is the problem with that deck. I feel like the Yeti token actually needs a nerf. I don't think it should be a 5/5. I think it should be like a 5/2 or a 5/3 or something where, you know. Gosh, Avaros.
I mean, a 5/5 for one cost. Yeah. Admittedly, you've still got to wait. You've still got to wait to draw it. But when you've got a deck which literally has got draw off of 5 attack units, so that it just ends up just like drawing those so quickly and just putting them all down. It's a devastating deck. Shout out about that. So I potentially, would you change to that one's health just to allow it to be more manageable, potentially.
Yeah,
I can see that.
You need to be able to trade into that Yeti. Maybe make it a 4/3. Honestly, 5/3 I think is still fine too, because it's supposed to be enraged. But the 5 health I think is too much, and I think that would help with making that deck slightly more fair. But other than that, I do agree that the deck it's fair-ish. It's it's more fair than what Noxus was last patch.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that.
Like it definitely is the best deck right now, but it's not as bad as some of the other like top tier decks. It's not like Endor was. It's not like Noxus last patch or Bald Eagle, where it's just completely obnoxious.
Yeah.
But I want to get your guys' thoughts on it because I hate it.
It's really annoying. It's really annoying to come across. Yeah.
I'm never going to play the best deck. I'm never ever going to play the best deck. I'm going to play a deck that beats that best deck. Always. I'm always anti-meta.
No, I feel you on that. I like playing anti-meta decks as well.
Yeah, there's so little things that really counter it because
it's just a solid
anything
deck.
that they've most of the time got frostbite, so they're going to get rid of your attack if there's anything that you've got along those lines. If there's like you can't just like hope that you could like trade with their minions and burn them off because I said like yet again frostbite, but also it's not like they don't have draw mechanics because they've got really powerful draw mechanics in that deck and that. So it's really hard to deal with in all honesty. Yeah,
I mean I feel like it checks all the box for tier 1. It's like really good draw power, check. It's like can trade really well, check. Can win the game on one turn, check. Like it checks all the boxes for tier 1.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that it's not broken because I feel like what tips it over the I don't know. I feel like what tips it over the edge most of the time is Ashe. I don't know. I feel like Ashe kind of tips it over the edge sometimes. That's just my opinion. Because when you can chump block, I think that deck is fine. But when you combo it with something like Ashe and your whole board is frozen and you can't do anything about it and you're just taking 20 damage, it's like, all right, I guess you win.
I might get a very unpopular vote, but in terms of one of the nerfs that I would say would be get rid of Ashe's crystal arrow.
Ooh.
Still keep her ability. Still keep her ability to when she's leveled up. Don't allow people who are like with 0 attack to defend because there's so much frostbite you're running in that deck anyway, and her spell card when you've got her on the board in hand is a frostbite quick spell anyway. Mm-hmm. So also burst spell. So I just think that little extra arrow, it just stops you from being able to put anything forward. Like literally just throws that out most of the time with what you've got on board. You're not going to have anything which is going to like they target the minion which has got the most health. And then everything else is done so you can't defend. So I think that arrow just makes it really like it makes it feel unfair because it's like she's got her own win condition that she draws herself. Like all other champions, yeah, which is like you can find win conditions through them, but they don't actually have something which they instantly draw, which basically allows them to. I don't know. I just think that that's what I would nerf. I'd get rid of her arrow, but I might have pushback on that in terms of quite a few people. But I just think that
I have some pushback.
Yeah, of course.
I feel that they shouldn't remove it. I feel like they should change it and make it a slow spell that frostbite's just one unit, maybe, instead of potentially the entire board. That might make it a little more fair, because it's kind of fair right now in terms of it being a slow spell, which means you can do something after, before their attack comes in. You could always trick them into playing it, and then you play Ruination or something, and you give them the asshole emote, right? And it does have some counterplay, but it's really thin counterplay right now, and that's what kind of makes it. I could see why you're frustrated from it.
So I mean, that's what I would say, because the thing of it is that her leveled up version is just so powerful in that there's not even like something that you've got because of the four health. It's not even like you could even just like grasp that, so that at least, and then you can defend, and then or like you can put something else forward. It's one of those things where literally it would take a lot to remove, and then you don't have enough mana to be able to put something else on board that's then going to defend what's about to come at you. Because at the time they've got like loads of Yetis and loads of whatever on the board, So I don't know. That's just personally what I think is like. I think that her arrow just tips her over the edge. But So that might just be me.
That's I think the most frustrating part about that deck right now is it has multiple win conditions in it. Sejuani is a win condition. Ashe is obviously a huge win condition, but they can get to their win condition, whichever one they're going for that game, very easily and consistently because of the health stat of most of the units that get played in that deck. And that's the reason why I think it's tier 1 and far and away tier 1 at this moment. It's the health stat of the units that it plays makes it so that you can get those good value blocks and trade up very, very often. That's maybe Avaros and Trapper needs to go back. Avaros and Trapper got buffed several patches ago to make it a 3-3. Was it a 3-2 or a 2-3?
No, it was a 3-2, I believe.
Maybe it needs to go back to that potentially as well. Maybe make the Yetis 5-3.
Yeah,
I think that would bring the deck in to be a little more fair.
Yeah, I think maybe they could nerf the Yeti to be 5-3 or maybe 5-2, depending on what they want. And then also, I think about the Ashe arrow. Why don't they just make it fleeting? I think it's also because you can just hold it as well. Like, you can literally, like, even if you don't want to use it that turn, you could just hold it. And then you could use it the next turn.
Potentially,
Or you could use it the turn after that. So it's like you always have a combo in your hand. So why don't you just make it fleeting? So,
I said, to me, it's just the fact that, as I said, like, all other champions, their leveled up version is amazing, but it's like it's not a win condition on its own, whereas that can basically draw you into, so I can now play this on my attack, and they can't defend. Like, literally, they've got time to throw out one more minion, which means they can defend with one minion, but that's about it, other than obviously if they've got any buffs which can buff. I just think that's what makes it, whereas no other champion really has something like that, if you know what I mean. I might just be me talking bollocks right now, but
no other champion has a literal win condition built into their kit. I don't think I think only Ezreal, and he still has to have stuff with it. It's not just him. Even like like him and the Mystic Shot is not going to kill you.
Yeah,
like, honestly. So every other champion, it's like a combo basically. You kind of gotta work for it. But with Ashe, it's kind of like, you can't block. You can't do a core mechanic of the game.
It's not even just that. It's the fact that the arrow's not even just frost, because that's obviously like it frostbite's an enemy, so it's not even like it only targets enemies that have got 3 or less health. So they can go, as I said, they can target your big man, and then it also freezes all enemies which have got 3 or less health. So it's not even like, so maybe if there was you can frostbite a minion up to 3 or less health, like to begin with, and then it freezes all the others, just so that at least your big man can defend. But even then, when Ashe plays forward, she then frostbites you. So that's what makes sense. It's one of those things where it's just, there's no way around it. And to add insult to injury, just like, here, have this, and have your win condition, and also draw a card. So it's just like, this is a slide back. Have a card on top of that as well, Just
in case you didn't want this one, here's another.
Yeah, draw a card on top of it as well, just so that you have your Fury of the North as well that you're just about to draw, just to add on to the situation. You understand? I don't know. I think that I find, like, I can understand, like, don't get me wrong, in beta and in previous, before things got added, it was a really nice, it was a much more fairer back then. But now with with the cards and how it all rolls out, I just think that just makes Ashe that little bit too powerful. But that might just be my opinion. It's definitely just my opinion on that. But yeah,
no. I think like, more we talk about it, the more I'm starting to understand that maybe Ashe really is the problem for that deck. To be honest,
not Ashe herself. I just think that arrow just adds, because it just.
I think it's the combo. I think it's
with the amount of frostbite that's already in the deck itself, and as I said, just the fact that she does have the ability to frostbite with her spell. Like, if you got her on board and then her champion in hand, I don't know. I just think that's just a little bit overkill on top of it. But,
yeah.
But I'm not saying. Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say I'm gonna challenge you, Gomez, to make a meme about it, and I was gonna even say, like, at LANUP team on Twitter, but then I pulled you up, and you crushed it. You're way ahead of me.
Yeah.
At LANUP team on Twitter, there's the meme.
Jojo, mate, Jojo. Can always make something work with Jojo. So, yeah. Already made that a thing. But to be fair, that's defending against it. Just the unexpected when Ashe is not expecting you to defend with Fury of Null.
Yep.
No.
You are the meme lord.
Thank you. I do what I can. But yeah, no, I'm not saying that anything is actually broken with Ashe in terms of her ability or her level up. It's just like, so I've got no issue with her level up being that you can't defend with minions which have got no attack. It's just the arrow on top of that I think is just a little bit unfair, or feels unfair to me. But yeah,
it feels like it's like a win harder card kind of. Well, not win harder, but more like I don't know. It's like the anchor on top. It's like, all right, now you definitely can't defend this. It's done.
Well, it's one of those things. So basically, if you imagine, so that obviously, even if you did start off with a minion which had a lot more health, you've had to basically put it on the board to defend against Yetis or whatnot like that. So their health has been knocked down, most likely below 3 anyway. And then if you do have something, as I said, the big man, they use that arrow on it. Everything else gets frostbitten. Even if during that time, because obviously it's a slow spell, even if during that time you play another minion forward, when Ashe, which it leveled up champion, goes forward anyway, that minion you've just played is frostbitten anyway, so can't defend. So,
yep,
you literally have got no defense against it, if you know what I mean. Like in terms of like, so that's why that's in my opinion why I think it's a little bit too much, that arrow. But
yeah, maybe the arrow does need to get tweaked. Now that we're thinking about it, maybe thinking about it, just it'll frostbite whatever your target is, but then it'll also frostbite any damaged units, possibly something along those lines. But I don't know. That might
I could go for that, or like, you know, frostbite a minion and frostbite the 2 minions next to it. And then that then means that when you're playing that deck, you then have to have the skill of, okay, where am I guess actually no, because it's not like you can place your minions in certain places, which is annoying.
Yeah, only you can only do it on your attack token. You can put them forward, take them back, and that's the only way that you can change that. But that's a deep meta game right there. Like when
I would like that.
Level up Ashe and you're on your attack.
So,
you're like, well, I gotta
No. I mean, like the idea of you being yet again, Gomez talking about ye who shall not be named.
The game we don't speak of.
The game we don't speak of, but Gomez. The game we don't speak of, but the game that Gomez always speaks of because it's it's my only reference point as being a competitive card game. Or online competitive card game, shall I say. So in Hearthstone, when you play a minion, you actually decide where it goes in your board. Like so you got your board stack, and you actually decide where it goes. And then because there are actually spells in Hearthstone, which is attack this minion and the minion next to it. So you then have to work out how you're placing. So I mean something like that, where it's just like, so it is adding skill because it's still meaning like when you're playing a minion, be like, okay, right, I'm going to play him here because then it just means that it's because. Another reason as well why I think that they should allow you to place, and including attack, when you attack, just to be able to place where an ephemeral is going to go. So like something like Zed or something, when he makes a copy, to be able to place where that's going to go. Now, I know that could be potentially overpowered, but my reason I'm going to say for this again is because imagine a champion like Shaco, or whatever his name is, the clown guy.
Yeah, Shaco.
Shaco, yep.
Yep. So imagine if his ability was that when you play him forward in attack mode, he makes a shadow copy of himself, but it looks exactly the same as the normal Shaco. So your opponent can't tell which one's the real Shaco, because obviously Shaco's whole thing is that he can make a copy of himself, and then if you attack it, then it blows up. So the idea of he makes a thing, and then you can decide where he goes and where the champion goes, and basically have it be his thing is if you attack and kill the non-Shaco, then he blows up like some he does like some damage to the board on your enemy side. Whereas if like, and then
I love that.
just because the idea of it is that it's kind of working with how that champion works in that he's like it's all about misdirection and trickery. But obviously, if it is just how it is at the moment, you play him and then his other card's going to go on the end, and you know exactly which one's the real one and which one's not. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe
the flavor that you just theory crafted was
these are the
beautiful
ramblings of a crazy man. I understand.
You're not.
Yo, Riot, you got a new developer for you.
The flavor of that nails
Shaco, honestly.
the whole goal of what Shaco is.
It does.
That is beautiful.
That would be that would be amazing if they were to add him into the game. If they were
Well
to,
played, sir.
If they were to add a mechanic like that would actually make him a champion. Like he would actually be like decent, and he would be the same flavor as he is in League of Legends.
Yeah, I know, but the sad part is he's not from Targon, so he's not coming. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Where the hell even is he from? That's just like, where is he from?
I feel like I should know this. I feel like my League of Legends lore is stronger than your guys's, but I don't.
Oh, definitely, because I have no League of Legends lore, so yours is definitely.
I don't know, because
I mean,
Nocturne isn't from anywhere either, and they're saying that he might get put into the game.
I mean, we're going to talk about lore. I mean, you do actually... He is definitely going to be part of Runeterra, or I can assume going to be part of Runeterra, because technically his mask is on the Black Merchant, which is Black Market Merchant's artwork.
Oh, really?
His mask is actually on the back of the crab.
Let me see that right now.
You have to expand it out, but his mask is technically actually on the back of the crab, right at the very top, in the middle type thing.
I'm looking. I got the game open. I'm looking right now.
You don't.
Is there? Is there?
Hang on, I'm pulling it up.
Wow, I didn't even notice. Yo, go. Oh my god. He's like, I'm like 2 head right now. He's like 20 head.
Right there.
Hello.
Like,
So
God,
I just looked it up, and Shaco hails from Valoran. So unless we're getting super trolled in Valoran is the real region coming, which nothing is confirmed that Targon is coming. It was just a leak.
No, it's the leak of sound files, wasn't it? Voice, something like that. But yeah, so I just think that's how I would like Shaco to operate, but. I don't know. That's just personal preference. I like a trolley guy, so that's the kind of thing that I would love to see happen with him.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have known?
A man who loves RNG. Who would have guessed?
Yo, I remember when he first said that. He said he likes RNG. I was like, bruh.
Hello.
And you know, my guesses were wrong because I was going to do a podcast with this guy. Oh my gosh.
Yep. I got switch it. Talk to this curly head mustachio prick. Oh, terrible plans. Why am I doing this to myself? Think about it. I've got to live with me every day.
Yeah.
I've got to look at myself in the mirror and go, "Oh, that prick again." Is he still living? But,
well, boys, I do think we do need to wrap it up.
Yeah. We could wrap it up here. All right,
strong end, a very strong end.
Yo, but that Shaco theory crafting.
I mean, right? If you're watching, make it happen. Yes.
All right, guys. Yo, it's been a good podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll be here next week.
Do you want to throw in some plugs first?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, nah, you guys can say your handles.
No, this is what we're gonna do.
I put it in the description.
We're gonna hype you up. Look into the description below this YouTube video and follow this man. We the people.
We the people. Good man.
Yep,
We the people.
Good man. Find him on Twitter.
Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all the things. Follow that
Yeah,
man.
all the things.
Yo.
Follow this guy because it was his idea to do this podcast. Gomez and I we're just hanging on to his coattails. He's the man.
Yeah.
Nah, don't
Pretty
forget
much.
about you guys. Yo,
We're here
Gomez,
too.
those memes.
Yeah, thank you. I do what I can. You catch me over at Lan Up. I get called Gomez because it's just like that's the name I've gone with most of my life. Lan Up is where you find me most things. Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So.
Yep, you can find me twitch.tv/suburban swervin. There's an underscore and no G, so suburban_swervin, and you'll come find out what it's like to get swerved, and I'll teach you guys all about that, and it's come share in solid funny deck names with me.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we out.